Last time on William Weyser's Childhood Fears, William talked about Emmy and Max's first Dragonland transport reaction. Today, he is talking about a common fear that a lot of people have. What is that common fear? Let's take a look. And now, here is the man who's going to talk about his childhood fears, William Weyser. Hi everyone, William Weyser is here, and welcome to William Weyser's Childhood Fears. Even though this is really about my childhood fears, my show, today I want to do something different and talk about fears that other people have, particularly a common fear. One common fear is if you're really high up a really tall building, like a skyscraper or a mountain or so, and if you want to be successful with whatever you want to do not look down. If you look down, that's a problem. That fear is called heights. Heights is a fear that people have, and admittedly, I'm sort of afraid of heights, but not fully, so that's why this isn't really about me. It's really about other people being afraid of heights, mostly in real life. So, and I'm just saying that it's a common fear that a lot of people have if they don't want to be that adventurous or something because they have a limited ability to do those types of things, as well as to make sure you want to be safe, like me. And if you want to take the risk and not look down, you can do it. If you can't do it, then oh well. So, let's look up and look right at the screen as I talk to you about people who have had or still have a fear of heights. And the first time I've heard the phrase, "don't look down," came from an episode of Little Bear that I have on VHS called Follow the Leader. And that shows why you don't look down. Also, other examples of this come from, let's say, an episode of Drake and Josh called Helicopter. After Drake came up with a bad idea with one parachute, then Josh comes up with the idea for them to jump together. Drake looks down and is nervous, but Josh, Drake has no choice but to have Josh and Drake jump off of the helicopter because the helicopter is running out of fuel. And although the jumping out of the helicopter and skydiving is dangerous, and I once did indoor skydiving over 7 years ago. I had a fun time with it. On my old channel, I uploaded that video, as well as me doing indoor skydiving to Big Time Rush's The City Is Ours. Both of those were fun videos for me to do, as well as a fun experience. That was the only time I ever went indoor skydiving at iFly. It's located in Frisco, and I still had a fun time. Unlike iCarly's I Go to Japan and some eliminations of Total Drama World Tour, we actually get to see Drake and Josh in the sky skydiving, and their screams is hilarious. Their screams are hilarious. Yeah, Drake's scream is hilarious, as is Josh. You get the idea. And it's fun for me to do. Well, yeah, it's fun for me to watch and to see them go on adventures like this. When me and Sammy did a roller coaster ride in Los Angeles in the summer of 2012, me and Sammy screamed like Drake and Josh did in that episode. And we had a fun time doing it. Now, there are some reviewers who have talked about The Walk, like 22 Tiger Dude, aka Tony Estrada, who is afraid of heights. Austin Putnam, who also reviewed this movie, is not. Here's the poster for The Walk, and it's a little disturbing, but it's a great poster as well as a great movie. The Walk is about Philippe Petit, played by Joseph Gordon-Levitt, who wants to hang a high wire in between Twin Towers and the World Trade Center in New York in 1974, and he wants to walk on the wire to go from the top of one building to another. Dangerous, but it's for the best, man. I hope it works. Shortly before 22 Tiger Dude Tony Estrada reviewed this movie, he reviewed Pan, and Pan got panned. No pun intended. The Walk thankfully cheered him up. So, at least there's that. And as for other people that are afraid of heights, I can give a couple of supporters on the original NCMBC Deal No Deal as an example. Peter Henslin, the husband of contestant Katie Henslin, is afraid of heights, and so they had this challenge set up for him where every time Katie knocks out $1 million case, the square bar underneath them lifts up very slowly. This did not last throughout the entire run of Katie Henslin. Eventually they let him down, and then he was able to see the rest of the game with the speed on the ground. Katie won $449,000, even though she was one of many people that could have won the million had she gone all the way, but because of her baby, she didn't want to risk it. So it's better to be safe than sorry. And the second one comes from the CNBC version with Eddie Mui, the husband of Shireen Mui, and he gave a really emotional story about how he met Shireen at the Eiffel Tower in Paris, and he completely forgot that he was afraid of heights. So, at least how he met Shireen and got to marry her worked out for him, and a bunch of strangers high-fived him, over 100. Then there was the scene where Eddie did some challenge for one round. He was in the air, which I knew was going to happen because a promo spoiled that Eddie was going to do that challenge. It didn't last for very long, and when the round was over, they let him back on the ground. And eventually, after Shireen was offered $105,000, Eddie had the courage to say, "Shireen, you've watched every episode of Deal No Deal back in the day, like me. You've watched every single episode of Deal No Deal back in the day. You've seen where people have blown it. Greed gets in the way." And I said, "Exactly, you tell him, Eddie." Shireen listened, she took the deal, got out at the right time, and what was in her case? The one penny. Perfect. Congratulations to the Mui family, and she got to meet professional poker player Maria Ho, who is great looking. And the last example of someone with fears of heights I can give is Obi Hansen, one of the earliest contestants on Fear Factor from season 1. And the stunt that he had to do was the net jump, where you go up on top of a tall thing, a tall crane, you jump off of it, and you try to hold on to the net. If you can do that, you succeed, and you move on to the next round for a shot at $50,000. If you let go at any moment, or if you fail a stunt, you're out. As you can see, Obi tried that stunt and failed, which I knew happened because it was spoiled in the intro. Sorry, Obi. Tough break. If he admitted that heights is a fear of his. He couldn't stay up for very long, and he had to jump pretty fast, and it might have been a little too fast for him. So, tough break for Obi, but he gave it a shot. William Lowe by a hand. Celise Martinez, with Celise spelled Cylysce, and eventual winner Doug Woodbury with the best jump, performing some sort of a Spider-Man jump, were able to complete the stunt and moved on to the next round. All three succeeded, and then they all advanced to the third and final round. Doug did best, so he won $50,000, and appeared on the Fear Factor edition of The Weakest Link. And let's just say that I'd rather watch all 8 episodes of Fear Factor with each of the 8 winners than them on The Weakest Link. So, what do we want to say about heights? If you want to try something, and you want to be brave, adventurous, and you want to have the courage to do something, do not, and I repeat, do not look down. It's very dangerous, and it's for your own best. So, thank you very much for watching this episode of William Weisser's Childhood Fears, and we've got less than 20 episodes to go until the big 100, so we'll see what we can do next. And I'll see you next time on William Weisser's Childhood Fears. Until then, don't get scared.